Well, let's speak now to the Minister for Care, Stephen Kinnock, who is waiting there for us. Very good morning to you, Mr. Kinnock.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Can I start by asking you about the unemployment figures up again to 5.1%? This is mainly affecting young people. Businesses can't afford to hire. Do you admit that this is because of your own political decisions, that the budget itself was damaging to businesses and also damaging to young people?
Well, we've actually created 380,000 new jobs since we came into office in July 2024, and we were the fastest growing economy in the G7 for the first 6 months of this year. So there is definitely important work happening to grow the economy and create those jobs. The problem is around economic inactivity. We saw the welfare budget balloon under the Conservatives by about £88 billion. And a lot of that is about writing people off. So young people should be in work. People who can work should be working, and that's why we've got Alan Milburn doing a review into getting more young people back into work. We've got a guarantee now that 18 to 21-year-olds must be in employment, education, or training, and we've also got the Stephen Timms review looking at the role that disability benefits are playing in terms of this issue around economic inactivity. So it is a real problem. We're grappling with that problem, but it is a deep-seated problem that's going to take some time to fix.
This video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect yourself this Christmas with one of the best VPNs out there. Cybercriminals are out to get your bank account information while you do your Christmas shopping online. But you can protect your privacy, money, and identity now with ExpressVPN for as little as 8 pence a day. Click the link now to claim up to 75% off.
Well, Stephen, one of the things we can't blame you or your government about is the economic inactivity around dentistry, but that's something you are determined to put right.
Absolutely. I'm really pleased to be here in Imperial College Dental Surgery today to announce these significant reforms we're making to the NHS dentistry contract. When we came into office in July 2024, as you rightly say, NHS dentistry was on its knees. We've got to fix it piece by piece. One of the big problems with it was that that dentists are not incentivised to do complex and urgent work on the NHS. So we're changing that by massively increasing, frankly, the fee rate that is paid to NHS dentists to do urgent work from about £42 now for a unit of urgent activity up to £75 for that fee. And we're also creating a complex care pathway. So for people with a whole range of issues with their oral health, rather than sort of having to come back and forth and doing a kind of patch-up job, there'll be a complex care pathway, package of between £250 and £700 for the dentist to ensure that work is de-risked, if you like, and they know that they can really give the patient the care that they need to deal with abscess, gum disease, broken teeth, the severe and acute issues that people are facing. And that is about prioritising. We've got people taking their own teeth out with pliers, 100 miles for an appointment, 5 to 9-year-old children going into hospital to having their rotten teeth removed. That's got to stop. Get the urgent right, then we can move on to the broader, deeper, radical reform of the contract that we need to do.
And have you got the dentists with you? Have you been able to take them with you? I mean, I say that in light of what we're facing with the resident doctors and the strike that's going to take place tomorrow. They obviously haven't gone with the government on what you guys are suggesting. Are the dentists behind you? Are they happy with what they're being paid?
The British Dental Association has welcomed these reforms, has said that it's one of the biggest reforms they've seen in the last 20 years, so a very positive step in the right direction. But they're right to say that there is more to do. We were in a very deep hole. We've got to dig ourselves out of it in terms of NHS dentistry, and we are engaging with the British Dental Association around those more radical reforms. With regards to the resident doctors and the BMA, I have to say it's a very different picture. We're deeply disappointed by the decision that they've taken. We've given them a 28.9% pay rise. They're coming back and asking for 26% more. That's just not living in the real world. We've also said we'll do emergency legislation to solve this issue around foreign trained doctors being prioritised over British trained doctors, one of Boris Johnson's brilliant ideas, which has to be sorted out. Emergency legislation we've offered on that. They rejected that. We've said we will facilitate them doing their strike in January rather than doing it now, just before Christmas at the peak period of pressure for our NHS. It's difficult not to draw the conclusion that they've just decided to inflict maximum damage on our NHS, and that is irresponsible, it is reckless, and it's dangerous.
Okay, Mr. Kinnock, just before we let you go, just need to ask you on President Trump. He is suing the BBC, £10 billion defamation lawsuit that he has now filed. Are you supportive of that action?
Well, the BBC made a mistake in that Panorama programme. They apologised for it. In fact, the Director General resigned over it. So, big steps have been taken to acknowledge the mistake that was made. But the BBC has also said that there's no case to answer in terms of the broader point that President Trump appears to be making around defamation or libel, or I don't know the details of what he's bringing forward. But this Labour government strongly supports our BBC. It's a source of pride to us that it's such a respected and loved institution, not just in our country, but also around the world. A tremendous
source. Well, is the Prime Minister then going to intervene?
It boosts.
Is the Prime Minister then going to intervene? Because if the BBC has to pay up, then you know that it's going to be licence fee payers that are going to be hit in the pocket.
Well, of course, lawyers are looking at this now. The BBC has previously said that whilst mistakes were made on the Panorama programme, it stands by the broader case and argument that it was making, and it looks like the BBC is sticking to its guns on that. It's an independent institution. We believe firmly in the independence of the BBC, funded through the licence fee, and I'm sure that the Prime Minister would be saying to anyone, whether it's Donald Trump or anybody else, frankly, that he is proud of the BBC, that he stands up for its independence, and that the BBC makes its case, makes its argument, and if Donald Trump wants to litigate on that, then let's see how that turns out with the lawyers.
Stephen, got to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, and good luck with what you're trying to do in dentistry. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.
250 years since Jane Austen was born. Have you read her books? Have you had to study her books? We're going to be talking about her anniversary right after this.